What's happening in Ottawa right now is kind of insane. Over the last few days, there's been a lot of discussion about the Ottawa Senators goaltending situation, and it all reached a head last night when the Senators released a pretty incendiary official statement condemning trolls and sick people for speculating as to the reason that goaltender Linus Ullmark is not with the team right now. And that language is notable because you usually expect that NHL teams will not address rumors that are flying around, especially when they are unsubstantiated and kind of inflammatory the way that the ones around Linus Ullmark are. And especially given that the underlying rumor hadn't really spread that far in hockey circles, and the Senators' statement really kind of brought it to the forefront. Barbara would be very proud of you. So let's go ahead and discuss what the heck is going on in Ottawa, going just purely off of what we know so far. On December 28th, the Ottawa Senators announced that Linus Ullmark would be taking a leave of absence from the team for personal reasons. It was a largely insignificant story that only really raised eyebrows when the Senators put him on a non-roster spot in order to make room to add Lars Eller to the 23-man roster, which doesn't seem like a big deal except for the fact that they did that yesterday, which is when some rumors started flying around about Linus Ullmark. Now, I won't really go into detail about them here, but suffice it to say, it is around Linus Ullmark doing something that has caused discord within the locker room to the point that certain people feel like Linus Ullmark is no longer going to be with the team. The only further specificity that I'll give is that if these rumors are true, Linus Ullmark broke one of the cardinal rules of the locker room. What's said in there is not to be repeated to anybody on the outside. And between the time that roster move happened and the Ottawa Senators released their statement, the Senators actually played a game against the Utah Mammoth in which Levi Mierlinen made saves on 18 of 21 shots, but the Senators ultimately fell to the Utah Mammoth. Then the next day, the rumors started flying, the Senators issued that statement, and they had to play the Colorado Avalanche, with 25-year-old Mads Søgaard playing in his first game of the season. It went just about as poorly as you could have imagined, and during the game, the Senators announced that they were signing James Reimer to an AHL PTO with the intention of calling him up to play for the Ottawa Senators. So that's going great in Ottawa, and then this morning, Elliot Friedman on 32 Thoughts addressed the entire thing and basically said there could have been a mutiny within the organization if the Senators did not stick up for those named players. This new Sens regime, headed by Steve Staios, is trying to distance itself from the chaos of previous Ottawa Senators organizational issues. But man, is it tough to do so when stuff like this is coming from outside of the organization's control. So I have sympathy for the Senators organization, and I understand that they're taking big swings trying to protect their players, and I applaud them for that. But man, in a season that has already been full of goaltending issues, a big controversy being thrown right into the middle of things is exactly the last thing the Ottawa Senators needed.